Burt Reynolds finally speaks out about Clint Walker. Burt Reynolds was born Burton Leon Reynolds Jr.B. on February 11, 1936, in Lansing, Michigan. His parents were Harriet Furnett and Burton Milo Reynolds, who worked as a police chief. When Burt was young, the family moved to Riviera Beach, Florida, where he grew up loving sports, especially football. That passion for the game shaped his early goals and dreams. He went to Florida State University, where he became a talented halfback on the football team. But sadly, his dream of becoming a pro football player ended when he suffered a serious knee injury. That moment changed his whole future and pushed him toward a new direction: acting. After a short time in junior college and a few years of trying to figure out his life, a teacher suggested that he try acting. That advice lit a fire in him and became the spark that started his amazing Hollywood journey. Burt's early acting years were tough. In the 1950s, he struggled to find steady work, taking small roles in TV shows like Gunsmoke and Riverboat. His rugged looks and deep voice made him perfect for westerns. But it took time for Hollywood to realize that he was more than just a handsome guy. His big break finally came in the late 1960s and early 1970s, with movies like Deliverance 1972. His raw and powerful performance in that film proved he was more than a charming star. He was a serious actor with real emotional depth. The movie became both a critical and box office success, turning Burt into one of Hollywood's most respected leading men. The 1970s were the golden years for Burt Reynolds, with hit movies like Smokey and the Bandit 1977, The Longest Yard 1974, and Hooper 1978. He became the ultimate American movie star, a mix of toughness, humor, and charm. His famous mustache, cheeky grin, and confident swagger made him one of the most recognizable faces of the decade. He was the kind of hero audiences loved: funny, brave, and down-to-earth. He could make people laugh one moment and move them the next. Even though Burt became known for his action and comedy movies, he also showed that he could do serious drama. His performance in Deliverance stayed one of his most respected works. And years later, in Boogie Nights 1997, he made an amazing comeback that earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. In Boogie Nights, Burt played Jack Horner, an adult film director with both kindness and flaws. The role showed a deeper, wiser side of Reynolds, proof that behind the charming smile, there was a true actor with real feelings and layers. Many fans and critics saw this as one of the best performances of his entire career, but Burt's journey wasn't all success. The 1980s and 1990s brought him some serious challenges: box office flops, health issues, and even bankruptcy. Still, he never gave up. He kept working, returning to film and stage again and again, always with humor and humility. Even as he got older, Reynolds kept acting. He appeared in smaller independent movies and loved mentoring younger actors. People admired him not just for his talent but for his resilience, his ability to bounce back no matter what life threw at him. Burt Reynolds' personal life was just as dramatic as the roles he played in movies. His marriages showed his passionate, emotional, and sometimes turbulent nature. He was married twice, and both relationships told different stories about his life and career. His first marriage was to actress Judy Carne back when his fame was still growing. Later, he married television star Lonnie Anderson during the height of his Hollywood stardom. Both marriages were short, but they left a big impact on Burt's heart and public image. Burt and Judy Carne tied the knot in 1963. Judy was a talented English comedian, best known for her work on the 1960s show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. At that time, Burt was becoming known as one of Hollywood's most handsome rising stars. Their relationship started with passion and excitement. Both were young, ambitious, and chasing fame. But their marriage faced huge pressure from their busy careers and very different personalities. Judy later wrote in her memoir that their marriage was filled with love, but also stress and emotional ups and downs. Burt admitted later in life that he hadn't been mature enough for marriage back then. He said the relationship ended too soon and that both of them were too young and focused on success to make it work. After just 2 years, they divorced in 1965, a short chapter that still meant a lot to him. More than 20 years later, Burt fell in love again, this time with Lonnie Anderson, the beautiful blonde actress who played Jennifer Marlowe on the TV hit Woke Up in Cincinnati. They got married in 1988, when both were at the top of their careers. At first, it seemed like a Hollywood dream come true to good-looking, famous stars getting married. Their wedding was full of media attention. Fans saw them as one of Hollywood's golden couples, but behind the smiles and red carpet photos, their marriage wasn't as perfect as it looked. Both Burt and Lonnie had strong personalities, busy schedules, and faced lots of gossip and rumors. Reports of arguments, money issues, and even cheating began to surface. By the early 1990s, things fell apart, leading to a very public and bitter divorce in 1994. The breakup became major news, with both stars talking openly about their problems in interviews. Burt later said it was one of the hardest times in his life emotionally and financially. He accused Lonnie of caring more about fame and money, while she claimed he had been unfaithful and abusive, which he denied, even though their marriage ended painfully. They shared one deep connection: their adopted son, Quinton Anderson Reynolds. Despite everything, both Burt and Lonnie loved him dearly and tried to co-parent with respect. Later, Burt looked back on his marriage to Lonnie with sadness but also honesty. He said he had truly loved her and wished things could have gone differently. Their story showed that even a big movie star could face heartbreak just like anyone else. For years, fans of classic Hollywood westerns have compared Burt Reynolds and Clint Walker, two of the most rugged, charming, and tough-looking actors of their time. Both had that true cowboy image: strong, brave, and confident, yet kind-hearted. They looked like men who could ride wild horses, win bar fights, and still smile in a way that melted hearts. Even though their careers overlapped from the 1950s through the 1970s, Burt rarely spoke about his personal thoughts on Clint Walker. Because of that silence, rumors and fan theories spread for decades. But later in life, Burt finally opened up in a heartfelt interview, revealing his true feelings about Clint. He started by saying, "Back in my early days, Clint Walker was already a legend to guys like me. I was still trying to make a name for myself, and there was Clint, this mountain of a man with a voice that sounded like it came straight from the Rockies. I'd watch him on Cheyenne and think, that's what a real cowboy looks like." Burt admitted that watching Clint dominate TV in the 1950s left a big impression on him. While Burt was still doing small TV parts and guest roles, Clint had already become one of Warner Brothers' biggest stars. He was 6'6", built like a tank, Reynolds said. Every studio wanted him. I'll be honest, I envied him a little back then. He had what we all wanted: strength, class, and this quiet confidence that didn't need to shout. As Burt spoke, his tone softened. You could tell the respect ran deep. Clint wasn't just muscle and charm, he said. He was one of the kindest men I ever met in this business. Hollywood can chew people up and spit them out, but Clint never lost his decency. He didn't play games, didn't fake anything. He stayed true to himself. And that's something I always admired. Burt, who was known for being rebellious and sometimes difficult with Hollywood executives, saw a bit of himself in Clint. We both had that stubborn streak, he said. We didn't like being told what to do, but Clint had this calmness about him. Where I might joke or blow up in a bad moment, Clint would just look you in the eye and say what needed to be said. That's real power, the quiet kind. When asked if they ever thought about working together, Burt laughed. Yeah, we joked about doing a western together. He'd play the serious cowboy hero, and I'd be the smart-mouthed deputy who always got in trouble. It would have been a riot, but the timing never worked. I was busy filming Smokey and the Bandit, and he was off doing another adventure movie. Still, I think fans would have loved to see us side by side. Burt also talked about the age-old fan debate: who was tougher, Burt Reynolds or Clint Walker? People always asked that, he said, smiling. Who'd win in a fight, Burt or Clint? Well, truth is, if Clint wanted to, he could have snapped me like a twig. But he never would. That wasn't who he was. He didn't need to prove anything. His presence said it all. Burt shared memories of running into Clint at award shows and charity events. Every time I saw him, he was the same: kind, polite, and genuine. No ego, no competition, just warmth. You don't see that much in Hollywood. He'd ask me how I was doing, how my folks were, and he actually meant it. That kind of sincerity sticks with you. In his later years, Reynolds reflected deeply on what Clint Walker represented. Guys like Clint, they're rare now, he said quietly. He was a man's man, but also a gentleman. He didn't need scandals or headlines. He just did his job and did it right. We all wanted to be a little like Clint: strong, steady, and real. Finally, Burt ended the interview with a heartfelt tribute. Clint Walker was one of a kind. When he left this world, the screen lost a real cowboy and the world lost a good man. I was proud to know him, even if only a little. And if there's a heaven, I bet he's up there riding tall in the saddle, just like he always did. The truth is, I admired him more than I ever said. Maybe it's time people knew that Burt Reynolds passed away on September 6, 2018, at the Jupiter Medical Center in Jupiter, Florida. He was 82 years old. His death was caused by a heart attack, marking the end of a Hollywood era and the loss of a man who had come to represent American masculinity, charming, funny, and strong. In the months leading up to his passing, people close to him said he was still battling serious health issues, including heart problems that had bothered him for years. He had even gone through heart bypass surgery back in 2010. Even though his health wasn't great, Burt never lost his love for acting. He was still talking about new projects and dreamed of returning to the big screen again. Acting was more than a career for him, it was a lifelong passion that kept him moving, even after 6 decades in show business. When news of his death broke, it shocked fans all over the world. Millions who had grown up watching him in movies like Smokey and the Bandit, Deliverance, and Boogie Nights felt like they had lost a friend. Burt passed away quietly in the Florida town he loved, a peaceful place filled with sunshine, far from the noise of Hollywood. That's how he wanted it, simple, private, and calm. His funeral arrangements were handled exactly the way he wished, with dignity and privacy. His ex-wife, Lonnie Anderson, and their adopted son, Quinton Anderson Reynolds, took care of everything. Despite their rocky past, Lonnie set aside old pain to make sure Burt's goodbye matched the man he truly was. Their marriage had once been full of media drama, but by the time of his death, both Burt and Lonnie had found peace and mutual respect. Lonnie wanted his farewell to be heartfelt and humble, not some flashy Hollywood event. A private memorial service was held on September 20, 2018, at a funeral home in North Palm Beach, Florida. Only close friends, family, and a few of Burt's old colleagues from his movie and TV days attended. Those who came spoke about his kind heart, sharp humor, and deep loyalty to the people he cared about. Though there were tears, there was also laughter, because that's how Burt had lived his life, full of joy, jokes, and warmth. His son Quinton gave a touching tribute, describing his dad as a man who, despite his fame, always made time for family. He said Burt was humble, loving, and fun to be around. Lonnie was emotional throughout the service but stayed strong. She wanted the ceremony to honor Burt's real spirit, simple, sincere, and full of love. And that's exactly how everyone remembered him. Burt Reynolds left behind a legacy bigger than fame. He was more than just a Hollywood icon, he was a symbol of charm, resilience, and heart. From the football field to the movie set, from heartbreak to redemption, his life told a story millions could relate to.